Hello traders, Bitcoin Trading Challenge here, and I'm going to be giving you guys 3 different covered calls that you can do on Poly Market if you hold Bitcoin. Let's dive in. So these covered calls are essentially going to be betting on price not going up, but at the same time holding Bitcoin across various time frames. I want to start with the most aggressive covered call here, which is right here. Now, this is something I want to show you guys because the ROI is incredibly high, but there are some drawbacks, and let's cover that. What is this contract? This is a contract that you can buy at 20, as you can see right here, which would give you a 5x. You know, if you put $100 into this at 20, you could walk away with 500. That's the way that this works. This is, will Bitcoin hit $100,000 again by January 15th? It is currently January 3rd, and we are quite far away from $100,000. However, and this is the ticker you want to use, BTC USDT. However, this fantastic ROI does give you a lot of different cool things that you can do. So here's what I will say. I would think that if you buy one Bitcoin at this current price or currently hold Bitcoin, and then at the same time you were to do, like, let's say 5,000 at 20, 5,000 shares at 20, your cost would be $1,000. Okay. And you would be wagering $1,000 to walk away with $5,000 with a profit of $4,000. What does that mean? Well, that means that if Bitcoin does hit 100K, you would lose on this, and you would also close out your position here on spot Bitcoin, and you would be left with a little bit of a profit. Now, if Bitcoin were to go down and you actually make money on this, then you would just earn a clean $4,000, and you would be holding Bitcoin spot. So essentially the wager that you would be making here would be that Bitcoin's not going to hit under 100K, but also Bitcoin's not going to go too low before January 15th. I would not say that this is the best trade ever. Well, now it's a little bit better because you can buy at 19 instead of at 20, but the ROI is quite good, and it can help to be a little bit aggressive every now and then. Now let's go to the other two that I want to cover. So this is another very, very interesting one, probably the better one, and you can see that I've already done this. I have 1,000 shares of this one right here. No, this one I like a lot. I like it a lot because the odds are just in my favor. Let's say that you wanted to do a covered call, guys, and you wanted to earn a 21 off of this wager right here, 21%. Actually, the percent might be a bit different, but you would be earning 21 from this contract per wager. What does that mean? Well, what that means is that if you buy 1,000 shares of this right here, you would stand to make a profit of $210. If you bought 10,000 shares, you would stand to make a profit of 2.1K. How can we use this? Well, if you buy Bitcoin right now, and then you also buy no 220K, it's quite simple. It's just like what we would do in the last strategy for covered call. This is a touch contract, and what that means is that you would have to be setting a limit sell of your spot Bitcoin at exactly 120K. The reason for that is so that you would take profit exactly at 120K, because this would expire if it hits 120K as well. Now, if you were to do 10,000 shares, you would lose 2.1 grand if we do hit 120K in January, which I don't think we will, but if we do, you'd lose 2.1 grand, but you would be making a lot more. Because if you were to hold one Bitcoin at spot, if you were to hold one Bitcoin at spot, your earnings would be about 21,500. So you'd make around $19,000, maybe a little bit more or a little bit less than that. So you could do 10,000 shares, but you could also do something like of the no contract, or you could also do something like, I don't know, as many shares as you want. Really, it's your life, but you could do 20,000 shares, whatever is within your risk tolerance. This is another really, really good contract that I just like a lot. Now, if you want to get a little bit more aggressive like me, you can also do the 110K, because this offers a phenomenal ROI at 56. Essentially, what your bet would be right here would be if you were to buy one Bitcoin and then put your limit sell order to 110K, then your profit right here would be 11.5K. If you were to buy here and sell at exactly $110,000. At the same time, your profit would be quite large if you were to buy this no contract right here. How large would it be? Well, if you were to buy, let's say, 10,000 shares, then 10,000 shares, you would stand to make a profit of 4.4 grand if this event does not happen. So that's not bad, to be honest. Essentially, what that means is that if Bitcoin were to just not hit 110K, you would pocket $4.4 thousand. Okay, on 10,000 shares of 5.6 grand invested. Now, you could go for a larger size, of course, if you really thought that Bitcoin was not going to hit, 110,000 dollars. If you do 20,000, well, then the math would be as follows. It would be this times this, and then it would be obviously the shares minus the cost. You would make 8.8 grand, and you would be earning a little bit more from spot. So if you were to do that, you would be making about $8.8 thousand in the pocket. So why do I talk so incessantly about these covered calls instead of using Deribit? I would argue that these are far better. These are far better because there are no fees. There's very tight liquidity. It is very easy to get in and to get out. And it's just very easy to roll the contract. It's just quite easy all around. Another big benefit is there's no margin. You don't have to worry about the margin at all. The worst thing that happens is plant. The worst thing that happens is if Bitcoin touches 110K, but you would just sell spot at 110K because this is a covered call hedge position. Now, if you do not want to do a touch contract, most of these are going to be touch contracts, but there are things that you can do that aren't always just touch contracts as well. And I'm going to be showing you guys a few of those. So as you can see, as I scroll, most of these are touch contracts, but there is one right here. Bitcoin above 97K on January 10th. You could buy no, which would be just betting on Bitcoin being below 97,000, which is right about here, while holding spot Bitcoin. I would say of the three covered call strategies, this is probably my least favorite. It's lower risk, but at the same time, I don't think I love this by any means. Bitcoin above. There might be actually other ones too. Bitcoin above. Yeah, no, actually it's just this. Is there Bitcoin below? There is not really, no. So yeah, there isn't really, it's just this one. I don't love it, but if you were to play it, essentially what you could do is to, like, let's say you buy 10,000 shares of this, which is a total cost of 3.9 grand in order to make, 6.1 grand in profit. The benefit of that is that if Bitcoin does tank, but not, I shouldn't say tank, but if Bitcoin falls below 97K, then you could stand to make a very, very large profit. And the massive benefit of this is if Bitcoin expires at, let's say, 96,000 on January 10th, then you would pocket this entire profit. But your Bitcoin spot position would barely be down if you were to buy now. So that's the benefit. What is the benefit of this contract versus the touch contract? The benefit of this is you are betting on a little bit less volatility. And the benefit of the touch contract is you be betting on a little bit more volatility. Why is that? Why is that the case? Well, you don't want a lot of volatility with this exact contract. We don't want Bitcoin to go down to, like, let's say, $80,000. That's not really what you'd want to get out of this, because if you buy now, you probably wouldn't want that. So this is betting on a little bit less volatility, but that's going to do it. I am also going to link all three markets in the YouTube thumbnail and YouTube description. If you like these types of covered call passive income or semi-passive income strategies, then feel free to click on the link below of the Discord, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So much money to be made on Polymarket. You just got to be brave enough. With that, happy trading, and if you want to track me, just type in the YouTuber on Polymarket right here. See you guys.